everyone, welcome back to English Podcast Pro. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Today's episode is all about mastering English, from beginner to pro. Ready to dive in, Emily?
Absolutely, John. English is a fascinating language, and learning it can open so many doors. Whether you're just starting out or looking to polish your skills, we've got tips and tricks for you.
Exactly. We'll cover everything from basic grammar and vocabulary to advanced conversation skills and cultural nuances. Let's start with the basics, shall we?
Sure thing. For beginners, the most important thing is to build a strong foundation. That means focusing on key areas like vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation.
Right. Vocabulary is crucial. Start with everyday words and phrases. Make a list of common items around your house and learn their English names.
Great idea. And grammar is the backbone of any language. Understand basic sentence structures: subject, verb, object. Practice simple sentences like, I have a book, or she likes apples.
Pronunciation is also key. English has many sounds that might not exist in your native language. Practice with a mirror to see how your mouth moves, and listen to native speakers to get the rhythm and intonation.
Yes, listening is so important. Watch English movies, listen to music, and follow along with subtitles. It helps with comprehension and pronunciation.
And don't forget to speak. It might feel awkward at first, but practice makes perfect. Find a language partner or join a conversation group.
Absolutely. Now let's move on to intermediate learners. At this stage, you should focus on expanding your vocabulary and refining your grammar.
Read a lot. Books, articles, blogs, anything that interests you. It's a great way to learn new words in context.
And write regularly. Keep a journal in English. It helps you practice grammar and sentence structure. Plus, it's a good way to track your progress.
Listening skills are still important. Try podcasts, audiobooks, and TED Talks. They're great for picking up new vocabulary and understanding different accents.
Speaking of accents, try to mimic native speakers. It can improve your pronunciation and help you sound more natural.
Also, start thinking in English. It's a great way to become more fluent. When you see something, think of the English word for it.
Yes, that's a fantastic tip. Now, for advanced learners, it's all about fine-tuning your skills and understanding cultural nuances.
Right. At this level, you should focus on advanced vocabulary, idioms, and expressions. Read literature, watch complex films, and listen to in-depth podcasts.
And practice speaking with native speakers as much as possible. It helps you get used to different speaking styles and slang.
Absolutely. Also, understand the culture. Language is deeply connected to culture. Learn about traditions, holidays, and customs. It will help you use the language more naturally.
Great point, John. And don't forget to keep challenging yourself. Take advanced courses, join English clubs, and participate in discussions.
Yes, and travel if you can. Immersing yourself in an English-speaking environment is one of the best ways to improve.
Definitely. So any final tips for our listeners?
Just keep practicing. Language learning is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself and enjoy the process.
Well said. And remember, everyone learns at their own pace. Keep pushing forward and you'll see progress. Let's dive deeper into vocabulary building. What's your approach, John?
I love flashcards. They're a great way to memorize new words. Apps like Anki are super useful.
Oh, yes. And word lists are great too. Group words by category: food, travel, work. It makes them easier to remember.
And use new words in sentences. Don't just memorize them. Context helps you understand how to use them properly.
Absolutely. Also, synonyms and antonyms are useful. They expand your vocabulary and help you avoid repetition.
For grammar, practice makes perfect. Work on exercises, but also learn through reading and listening. Notice how native speakers structure their sentences.
Yes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's part of the learning process. Correct yourself and move on.
Speaking of correction, feedback is crucial. Whether from a teacher, a friend, or a language app, it helps you improve.
Definitely. And pronunciation apps like LSA Speak can help you sound more like a native speaker.
Those are great. And for intermediate learners, start focusing on phrasal verbs and idioms. They're commonly used and will make you sound more fluent.
Yes, phrasal verbs like give up, take off, and run out are everywhere in English. Learn them in context.
And idioms add color to your language. Phrases like break the ice or hit the nail on the head are fun and useful.
For advanced learners, it's about perfecting your skills. Debate clubs or discussion groups are fantastic for this.
Absolutely. They push you to think quickly and articulate your thoughts clearly. Plus, you learn to argue politely in English.
And don't forget about writing. Try writing essays or opinion pieces. It's a great way to practice formal language and structure.
And read advanced materials. Academic journals, complex novels, and sophisticated news articles challenge your understanding and expand your vocabulary.
Yes, and understanding cultural references is key. Watch shows and movies from different English-speaking countries. Notice the differences in slang and humor.
Great tip, Emily. Also, learning about the history of the language can be fascinating and helpful. It gives you context for why English is the way it is.
Absolutely. And immersion is unbeatable. If you have the chance, spend time in an English-speaking country. It's the best way to learn.
Definitely. And keep a positive attitude. Language learning can be tough, but stay motivated and enjoy the process.
Now let's break down some effective learning strategies for our listeners.
Good idea. One strategy I love is immersion. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. Change your phone's language settings, watch English TV shows, and try to think in English.
Yes, immersion is so powerful, it forces you to adapt and learn quickly. Another great strategy is to set specific goals. Instead of just saying, I want to learn English, set a goal like, I want to be able to order food in English by the end of the month.
Exactly. Goals give you direction and motivation. And when you reach a goal, celebrate your success. It keeps you motivated.
And speaking of motivation, it's important to stay motivated even when it gets tough. Find what excites you about learning English.
Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Each mistake is an opportunity to improve.
Yes, embrace mistakes. They're your best teachers. Another tip is to practice speaking regularly. Find a language partner or join a language exchange. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become.
And don't just practice with native speakers. Speaking with other learners can be beneficial too. You can learn from each other's mistakes and successes.
That's a great point, John. Now let's talk about reading. Reading is a fantastic way to improve your vocabulary and comprehension. Start with books or articles that interest you.
And don't just read passively. Engage with the text. Highlight new words, make notes, and summarize what you've read in your own words.
Writing is another key skill. Keep a daily journal or write essays on topics that interest you. Writing helps reinforce grammar and vocabulary.
And get feedback on your writing. Whether it's from a teacher, a friend, or an online community, feedback is crucial for improvement.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more tips and lessons. Keep practicing and stay motivated.
Bye for now.